Hello to everyone on the other side of the screen. Welcome back to My Ghosts Out. Talk to Mr. Diaz, and a special greeting to my 101 subscribers. Yeah. My name is Andriel Diaz, and this is another video. Welcome to another video of My Ghosts Out. As you can see, I am not in my studio as usual. Today I am out in the wild. As you can see, I may be a little bit sweaty. That's normal. The weather right here in Arkansas is hot right now. This is actually the backyard of my friends Chris Lane and his son JJ Lane. So thank you for an amazing week that I've spent with them. I don't know if you saw in my past video the things that I've been doing this week, but it's been an amazing week. And I decided that why not a change of scenario would be amazing for the channel. And also, there's no better place to talk about today's topic, depression, than doing it here in the peace and quiet that nature offers. I don't know if you're hearing the birds, the wind, but it's just amazing, relaxing, and wonderful. I wanted to kick us off in this video saying that as we have more technology and as we have more knowledge of the earth, ocean, the space, the planets, as we discover every day more and more and more, statistics show that we are falling more and more into depression. And it may sound a little bit ironic, but it's the truth. That's what's happening. Why is that? Well, let's discover that right after the intro. So stay with me. We'll fight this ghost of depression together. My friends, the more that we have in the outside, let's say the more responsibilities, the more things to take care of, the more things to kind of like distract us, the less we are taking care and investing time in our inside, in ourselves, in our mental health and sanity. Too many responsibilities, too many things to do, too many things to worry about. At the end, we have no time to take care of this, to take care of this. And you may say, well, that's the way it's been for ages. That's the way it's been for many years now. I'm not going to be the exception. That's how life is. You know what? For a while, for a few years, it may be okay. But there is a point, there is a time when this lifestyle is going to pass you the check under the door, and you're going to pay the price. The fact that it's been like this for many years, for many people, and in most countries, doesn't mean that it's okay. Doesn't mean that it's right. The fact that that's the way we learned how to live life doesn't mean that we cannot do something to change it and make it better for ourselves and for our future generations as well. It'll be good to know, to understand that the ghost of depression doesn't get to you suddenly, just like that, out of nothing one day. Better is, or I would say, it's a process that happens little by little, step by step, where you may figure out that something is wrong but you ignore it, or you may just not realize that something is not okay with you, and there is a process that takes place, and there is a point when you just find yourself already caught up into depression. And what is it that I want to share with you in this video about depression? Well, 3 things. Number 1, the symptoms of depression. That'll help you to recognize if you are falling into it, or if you have a friend or a loved one, anybody around you that is suffering from depression. Number 2, I want to share with you the path from a healthy state of mind to a depressive lifestyle. And third, I want to share with you some practices or some coping skills that will help you get rid of your depression. And before we start with the symptoms of depression, I want to share a fact, or I want to share a reality with you that I have experienced, or that I've noticed in my many years of working with depressed people. You will find it a little bit crazy, but it's a reality. There is a point when depressed people get an unconscious addiction to depression. And you may say, like, what is he talking about? Well, yes. I will explain you a little bit of this, but it has happened that you see and you try to fight depression with them. You try to help them, and you are thinking, why is he or she not helping? Why are they so stuck and comfortable in that state that they are in? Why they don't seem to be interested in getting out of depression? Well, that if you've seen that, or you've noticed that in any of your friends that is suffering from depression, that means that they may be unconsciously developing this addiction to depression. And how does this happen? Well, it may be because of different causes. Number one, remember, the person that is suffering from depression usually gets some attention from some people around them that usually they won't get if they are not depressed. Let's say the attention that they're getting from their friends that are trying to help, the attention that they get from their therapist, maybe, or the attention that they get from the psychiatrist. So there are different facts, there are different things that may trigger this addiction to depression. Also, some studies show that there is a victim feeling that comes up when people are depressed. It comes out of this state of being lonely in their rooms, not talking to anybody, feeling bad and feeling down emotionally. That could also trigger this addiction to depression. They also get a little bit used to this state of not doing anything, of staying quiet in their room. I don't know, some of them, they just watch TV forever and ever, or they just sit in there on their phones watching YouTube videos perhaps. But that gets to be addictive as well. Obviously, this is not the case for every depressed person. However, something for everyone suffering from depression to keep in mind and to keep an eye on. What are the symptoms for depression? How do I know that somebody, or even myself, is suffering from depression? Number one is a very, very common symptom. They will get extremely sad and they will lose all motivation to do anything at all. Or it could be the other extreme. They could get very irritable and very anxious. Number two, problems with their sleeping patterns. Either they will sleep way too much, or they would sleep too little. Usually also they would be sleeping during the day instead of sleeping during the night. Also, you will notice that they have excessive guilt feelings. Everything was their fault. They will be apologizing extremely, way too much. Unrealistically low self-esteem. I won't get into details for this one just because of the sake of time. But if you haven't seen my video on low self-esteem, I'm going to leave you the iCard right here. You can click on it later on, continue to see the video, but later on you can come back to this point and you can see it. I will give you a lot of details about the low self-esteem ghost. You will also notice very low energy. They're not motivated to do anything. They don't want to hang out with friends. They don't want to get out of their room. They don't want to do cleaning chores in the house. And you will also notice low self-care. They would not want to brush their teeth as usual as they would do it, or they would not even want to get showers. They will also experience concentration problems, concentration issues. Let's say that they are not able to concentrate or focus on anything, especially on long conversations, long talks. Also a change in their appetite, either eating too much or eating too little, sometimes not eating at all. You will notice certain agitation or severe anxiety, sometimes even panic attacks out of nowhere. And then it happens a lot more than you may think, that they suffer from suicidal thoughts, suicidal plans, and even suicidal behavior. I wanted to give you some details that I think are important to consider. Number one, not every person that is suffering from depression is going to be suicidal. Number two, you will need to be experiencing or suffering from most of the symptoms that I've given you before to get to the point where you can say that you are suffering from depression. And number three, if you are in that case where you are suffering one of or two of these symptoms, it'll be good that you treat it on time, because that's starting already to build up, and other symptoms will start coming, and then it'll be a point where you'll be already suffering from depression. Talk to someone that could help you if you cannot do it by yourself. This is going to bring me to my second thing that I wanted to share with you today, which is what is the path from a balanced and healthy state of mind to a depressive one. How do we get there? Because as I mentioned before, it's not something that happens suddenly. However, it's more like a process. How do we get there? For this, I'm going to invite you to get inside the house, because the sweating situation is getting out of control for me. I am so tired of being standing. So let's just change the scenario a little bit and go inside. Come with me. All starts with a simple event, or a simple, we could call it, issue that it may happen to any of us in life. That could be like the trigger for the depression to start in your life. Let's say that could be the loss of someone that you loved. It could be because the person died, or it could be because of a broken relationship. It could also be triggered because of failure. Let's say that you failed at a job interview, or perhaps you couldn't graduate because you failed some of your tests. It could be losing in any type of competition that was important to you, or it could also be that you're not being able to have children when you want to, or you're not being able to get married. These are all very, I would say, complicated and hard situations in life. However, there are other ones that are also what we could call small or simple, but they could easily trigger as well the path to depression in one person. This could be a simple argument, or perhaps a very strong argument with somebody that you love, and at the end you couldn't get to an understanding together. Or it could also be something like you're being bullied at your job or at your school. These things, which, and there are others obviously, that we may call simple, could also trigger our way or path to depression. Another issue or fact that could trigger the path to depression is what I call hurting truths. Yes, we all say we want to know the truth about everything, that we prefer to suffer with the truth instead of being fooled or lied. That is true, I agree as well. However, let's keep in mind, sometimes a very hurtful truth could trigger the path to depression. So when I say this, I mean getting to know something that is a truth that you didn't know and that you're not able to cope with. Let's say that you just discovered that your significant one is being unfaithful to you, or let's say that you discover that somebody was lying to you about something for a long time, or it could also be that somebody that you love, or even yourself, is sick with a life-threatening sickness. Another fact that could trigger the path to depression could be changes in life, mostly unexpected or unwanted changes in life. Let's say that you were fired from your job, or let's say that your job description was changed to something that you don't really like or enjoy, or you don't think is even fair. Or let's say that you had to move suddenly somewhere that you don't like. Also, it could be personal mistakes. What I mean with this is, obviously we all make mistakes in life, but I'm talking about those mistakes that really touch you in a way because you think they are unforgivable, or they are too big, or at the end, mistakes that you cannot cope with. Or it could also be unnecessary comparison with others that are in a better situation than you are. As humans, we all have the tendency of comparing ourselves with somebody else. At some level, this is not bad because it helps us to improve. It helps us to have somebody to look after. That is okay. But when it gets to the point where we are all the time comparing ourselves with people that are always better than us, in a better economical situation, or in a better shape physically, or in a better shape, let's say health-wise, or let's say in a better condition, talking about physical appearance. When we are doing that all the time, these could trigger our path to depression as well. After our path to depression has been triggered by any of the facts or issues that I've mentioned before, the second stage would be failure to cope or accept any of these facts. There's no way that we can stop or avoid these things from happening to us. They are just part of life. Life is never perfect. However, this second stage takes place or happens when you're not able to cope or accept that this is normal life, and you have to forgive yourself or forgive others for whatever happened. Obviously, this brings us to the third stage, which is overthinking our situation. If we are not accepting that it was a mistake and we have to let it go, if we are not accepting that this is life and these things happen, then obviously we'll have this thought stuck in our minds, and we'll keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And the more we give place to these thoughts in our minds, the worse they get. The worse the situation is going to start looking for us. Then this is going to lead us to the lost cause feeling. This is the time, or this is the stage where we are thinking that it's too late, there's nothing that can be done. You know what, let me forget about it. We tried not to think about it, but at the end we go back to the same thought of what have we done? What have they done to me? Why is this happening to me? And it is a cycle where your thoughts never get to a point where you find a solution for them. Obviously, being in this situation and having all these thoughts in your mind, this will take you to the fifth stage, which is low self-esteem. I will not make much notation. I will not talk about this that much in this video for the sake of time. But if you haven't seen my video on low self-esteem, how to beat up, how to overcome the ghost of low self-esteem, I'm going to leave for you the iCard right here. Also, I'm going to list it in the description of this video down below, so that you can just click on it and see my video on low self-esteem as well. Then the next stage, it'll be silence. Obviously, at this point, we are already suffering from low self-esteem. We are not forgiving ourselves. We are not forgiving others. We are thinking that we don't have, there's no solution for our problem. We are thinking that there's no forgiveness for what we've done, or there's no forgiveness for what other people have done to us. Obviously, we are not going to talk to anybody. We are not willing at this point to share with other people the situation we are in. We think it's too embarrassing, or we think it's too much of a deal, it's too difficult to handle. It is impossible to solve. There's no solution. It's too late already. So why am I going to share my situation with other people? Why am I going to put myself into that vulnerable situation where everyone or some people are going to see the place where I'm standing if at the end there's no solution? So what we do is we just prefer to stay in silence. We don't share with anybody. And obviously, our situation keeps getting worse and worse every time. And finally, the seventh stage that we fall into, it'll be what I call the deep well or the deep hole stage. Basically, this stage is what statistics say that after you've been suffering from all the above feelings, all the above emotions, after 2 weeks, that means that you can already diagnose, you can already say that you are suffering from depression. And well, this is the point where you may be saying, okay, I am falling into depression. I know that I am in there because I am experiencing most of what has been mentioned in this video. Okay, what do I do now? How do I get rid of this depression? Well, before I get there, I want to mention a few things, a few points here before we get there. The first notation I want to make is that some studies have said or mentioned that depression could be hereditary. This means that you could have some sort of predisposition to fall into depression because your parents or your grandparents suffered from it. The second notation I wanted to make is that depression has been categorized as a mental medical illness. This means that it can be cured if you treat it on time, but this also means that it could get really out of control, or it could get also to the point where you could say it's chronic. Also, in some severe cases, you may need to go to your psychiatrist, or you may need to go to a therapist. There are many cases that also need medication. So the way I'm trying to deal with depression in this video is a natural way. It's a way that doesn't require any type of medications or any other sort of things like this. However, I'm also accepting that there are some cases where this may not be enough. It could be so advanced, your depression, that you may need to go to see your psychiatrist or your therapist, and they will prescribe probably for you some sort of medications. You shouldn't be self-prescribing yourself with any type of medication to deal with depression. And then stop for a second, because I want to make a disclaimer right now. If you are already under medication for depression, in this video I'm not suggesting under any means that you can stop suddenly your medication or you should stop your medication. What I suggest is you going to your doctor if this is what you want to do. If you want to start dealing with depression without using any sort of medication, then you should go to your doctor and explain to them, your psychiatrist or to your therapist, and explain to them what your plan is so that they can help you through this process. And finally, we can get to talk about the 7 practices or coping skills that you can learn so that you can deal with your depression in an easier way. Practice number 1, it'll be meaning. With this, I am saying that you should try to find something to help while you are going through your depression. And you may think, well, I am the one who needs help. It's been proven that once you go and help somebody in any situation that they may be going through, or in any chore that they may need your help with, that is going to help you feel useful, and somehow is going to help you not to focus on yourself as the person that needs help, but at least for a short period of time, it's going to help you focus on helping somebody else who needs your help. The second practice, it'll be setting up for yourself realistic short-term goals. With this, I mean some tasks or chores that you could set up for yourself that you could accomplish in max 1-2 days, that after you finish them, you will have this feeling of accomplishment. Practice number 3 is focus. The past, you only go there to figure out what your mistakes have been so that you can find ways to fix them, to not to do them anymore. You go to your past just to realize what you've done well so that you can continue to do it. But you didn't go to the past to continue to regret what you did wrong. You didn't go to the past to cry over and over about the mistake that you've done. And in the same way, the future is out of our hands. There's nothing you can do. You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what is going to happen even tonight. We could plan a little bit for the future, but you should not get too worried about it. So you better should focus on today. Now, what can I do to make my situation better? What can I do to feel well? What can I do to feel useful? What can I do to feel happy? The fourth practice would be faith. It's been proven that when you lean on someone who is all-powerful and you put your faith on someone that has everything under control, that helps you develop a lifestyle that is way more healthier and more uplifting and positive. In my case, as a pastor in a Christian church, and also as a person that has had faith since I am very young, this has been a key factor to develop a very healthy lifestyle, and also to let go of things that are not under my control, knowing that being above and all powerful, in my case God, is working all things for my good. That if something bad happened to me, it's because He allowed it, and something better will come after that. Number 5, I would call it fun activities. And with this, I am just telling you, don't wait for it to happen by itself. It is not going to happen. Don't always lean on your friends coming to you because you are sad, you're depressed, you are in your room, getting you out of there, taking you to do some fun stuff, and then you go back to the same thing and they have to come back and take you out of there. You should be in control. You should also be planning what to do, what fun things you are going to do. It doesn't have to involve money all the time. It could be things that are easy to do with your friends, like playing some table games, or things that you don't have to spend money on all the time. Going out, walking, running a little bit, going to your friend's house and having dinner together, preparing dinner at home and inviting some friends, sitting outside in a beautiful park with a couple friends and enjoying a sunset. It could be even by yourself. 6th practice is exercise and sleep well. Obviously, I've talked about exercising in other videos, but this is a practice that will take you out of that routine of being stuck in this feeling of I don't do anything that is good. Exercising will help your body as well, will help your mind to feel positive and happy about life. You don't have to do it 2 hours every single day. You could start with 3 days a week, 4 days a week, depending on your availability, and you could do it for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but just make it something consistent and you will see what a great results it will come from exercising in a consistent way in your life. And getting to sleep correctly, I know it is not that easy. Sometimes you're not sleepy or sometimes you're too sleepy, but you should cut that pattern. If you are sleeping too much, set up alarms. I know this could work or not. Some people, they just turn it off and they continue to sleep, but it depends on how disciplined you are and how much you are willing to get out of that routine, out of that practice that is not helping you really. So I would say set up alarms and be disciplined when they go off. Get out of your bed and start doing something useful in your day. If you're getting to sleep too little, I would say find different ways before you get to any type of medication. I would say try to play different sounds on your phone, like nature sounds, or you can do classical music. It depends on what relaxes you, what makes you feel calm and easy. And number 7, not because it's the last one, is the less important. For me, it's the most, or one of the most important ones, is relationships. You need to get to know and plan and organize the people that you are going to fail with. This may sound a little bit rude or a little bit too strong, but let me tell you something. You and me know that it's impossible to go in life pleasing everyone, making all the people around us happy. That's not going to happen. If you don't plan who you are going to fail with, what is going to happen is that you are going to end up failing with the people that you don't want to fail with. You're going to end up failing with the people that you love the most. This is going to make you again feel bad. This is going to make you again go into this cycle or feeling bad or feeling guilt. So what you should do is just know who are the people that you don't really care about failing with. Those people that are toxic for you, those people that are not helpful in your life, those people that are always criticizing, those people that they never see the good side in life, those people that they only see the bad stuff that you do and they never recognize anything good that you've done, people that don't uplift you, and people that are always trying to put you down. Those people, I am not saying that you are going to do anything actively to end up your relationship with them, but you're gonna have very clear that if it comes to any point when that happens and your relationship gets affected and they get mad at you and they are upset because you are not fulfilling their expectations, well, that'll be the point for you to be quiet and just let them go. But you need to make sure that you are not going to fail with the people that are really important to you, with those people that are there always for you to help, with those people that are always uplifting you. And this has been all for today. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. That helps me a lot and I appreciate that. If you could go now to the comment section down below and type I saw it, or if you could do it in Spanish as well, yo lo vi. That'll help me know who of you saw my whole video. This will be interesting. Let's see who stayed until the end of my video. Let's see if I can get 101 comments saying I saw it or yo lo vi. Thank you for staying until the end. I am super happy to tell you that we have subscribers from Cuba, we have subscribers from the United States of America, we have subscribers, I think 2 of them from Italy, and we got a couple of them the day before yesterday and yesterday from Nigeria. So we are growing, we are going to more and more countries. If there is any of you that is from another country other than these 4 that I just mentioned, also please go to the comment section down below and let me know, hey, I am from this country, you didn't mention me. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but for me it's huge. I don't see you as numbers, I see you as humans, I see you, each one of you as people, and I want to know who is subscribed to the channel, and I want to know that I have people to interact with. So please, it will be a great help for me as well if you subscribe, and after that if you hit the notification bell to make YouTube inform you every time that I upload a video. And also if you give me a like, obviously that helps me a lot as well. And my friend, if there's any ghost that is surrounding you, if there's any ghost that is haunting you and you don't know what to do, please talk to Mr. Diaz so that together we can take all of our ghosts out.